And so, next on Soul Stage, a very special guest. She has helped us put this show together for this week. She has been the curator, and we want to salute her because she's one of those amazing women who continues to grow in lips and browns. Cassandra Gudlhuza is a prominent South African media personality, former journalist and business executive. She wrote for the Sunday Times and City Press and was part of the team that launched Forbes Africa. She is the founder and managing director of Black Circle Communications. She is a communications strategist, reputation specialist, editor, copywriter, and media trainer. Cassandra is the editor of Business of Becoming, Women Creating Wealth Impact book. And for Women's Month, she has curated a series based on the Impact book in partnership with Channel Africa. Unfathered is her debut book. Cassandra, good evening. How are you?
Oh my God, hi Tich. I'm very well. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming through. You know, you're so busy, such a successful businesswoman, from newsroom to boardrooms. Well done.
Thank you. It has not been easy.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you for choosing us as your media partners, Channel Africa. We love women. We want to celebrate the success they bring to Africa.
Thank you. I mean, it was the obvious choice, given the work that the trust does, the Russell Michelle Trust, how it's very Pan-African in all its operations. So Channel Africa was just the obvious choice. So
Okay.
thank you for allowing us. Yes.
What made you decide to bring it to radio?
So I mean, in this day and age, print is great and everything, but it's got its limitations. So you want to kind of look at all the other platforms that are available. Also, you want to be able to, to partner up with a platform that's got the reach into the regions that the people that you want to talk to are based at. So that's why I wanted to bring it to radio, particularly because the format that you guys do, where it's not just audio anymore, it's also audio and visual, along with the strong digital presence. So it made sense.
Yeah. Much like you, radio is still my first love.
Exactly. When people like me back in the day, back in the early 2000s,
Yes.
when we were trying to get into the media, people like you were the legends of the time. I'm so glad that you're still doing it.
Oh,
I'm
thank you.
so glad to be with you today. It's actually quite, yeah, it's a thing because I was
Oh,
one of
thank
those
you.
people. You, okay, me, go Bob Mabena,
Yes.
back in
I,
those days, the OGs.
the OGs, man. I want to
Yeah,
call us back in the day the A team.
the 18. Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. The people that before the current space that we're in, where everybody can just broadcast themselves,
Yeah,
when it
true.
still had that particular magic. So the real A team. So yeah, I'm very glad to partner with you as a channel, but particularly with you as the show,
Oh,
the Tich
sweet.
Mataz show. Yeah,
Thank you. Truly humbled. All right, so I want to
yeah.
talk to you about your book. Editor of the Impact book, you work closely with 60 women who are into business, finance, and accounting in the accounting sector. Which story touched you the most?
Sure. Your question, Tich, is like asking a mother which of her kids is her favorite.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get in trouble in the WhatsApp group. So I'm not going to single out a specific person or a specific story. What I will say, however, is that all the stories were like exceptional. If there's something about me, is that I really believe in women. I believe in telling women's stories. I feel like honestly, if I was to be given any sort of power, I would put women in charge of everything because that's the only way everything would work. So, so platforming women, telling women stories, is such a special, very privileged, very like I was honored. Each and every story, whether it was a lady who was in microfinance, borrowing to an immediate community, people that need food, people that need finance for just small business, every insurance, accountants, auditors. whatever the lady's story was, for me, it was a very important story and very special and worthy of being told. So I can't say there is a specific story that spoke to me, but all of them, I love platforming women.
Mm, yeah. One of the things you talk about in your book, Cassandra, it's reputation and the narrative. What do you think the way that women do business in South Africa needs to change?
Sure. I think essentially why I love the work of the Gracia Machel Trust is that it gives women the opportunity to find their peers, find their mentors, find a collective of like-minded individuals and like-minded business people. I mean, obviously, we all know the saying that goes, if you want to go quick, go alone. If you want to go far, go
Yeah.
together. So for me, I love initiatives like that where I mean already behind every successful woman is another successful woman. So if you then have these platforms like the one that the trust has put together where they've literally mapped it out for the best possible scenario where a woman can get success. I think those sort of things they go a long way. In terms of generally, I think government, for instance, should prioritize women more, not just in policy, but not in action. Because, like I said, as we started the interview, really, women, even in politics, even in business, even in social settings and families, if you give women their space and because I mean even in our own families the women are the
Mm.
ones that actually run the thing. We just pretend that they don't. We call them the neck when in actual fact they run everything. So give women
You're starting a
everything.
fire
I
now,
mean
Cassandra.
give
You're
them
starting a
everything.
fire.
I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. Give women
You're, you,
everything because
yeah, true.
when everything will start to work.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yes. Mm.
All right, Cassandra, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back in just a moment. August Women's Month, my special guest tonight on the Soul stage is the incredible Cassandra. Cass, welcome back. We're talking about the book done with the Gracia Michelle Trust and Facet. What did the partnership bring to the project that you found very valuable?
Are we talking about the partnership between the trust and Facet or the partnership between me and them?
Big partnership between Gracia Michelle and the Facet, and then with you as well.
I mean, obviously, with regards to the stream that we were looking at for this particular book, women in the financial sector, Facet was obviously the obvious kind of partner in terms of where they kind of specialize. So that makes a lot of sense. Like I said, for me, even the fact that I myself am a businesswoman, and I have a long history in terms of editing and publishing, so that also made sense. So it was a win-win all the way.
Fantastic stuff. Now, you're a communication strategist and you're really good at what you do. What communication mistake do you see a lot of young women do when they're trying to access funding or marketplaces?
One of the biggest things that I see happening is that people don't actually research and find out exactly how to access
Yeah.
opportunities that are available.
Mm,
I mean, even in terms of what the government offers, right? They communicate at the level at which they communicate. People then try to reach them, but in terms of like compliance and things like that, people don't necessarily have the things together. So that's the one big one that I have observed. So I would urge, women entrepreneurs all over to just make sure that in terms of compliance, all your things are in shape, all your things look good, and that you actually are knowledgeable about what is required because opportunities and funding are actually there. You just need to be best prepared to
yeah.
access them and be, in the best possible state to be considered for some of these things.
Yeah. According to your observation, from the women who participated in part of the Women Creating Wealth Ignite program. What do you think was their biggest takeaway?
The biggest takeaway was how the strength in a collective.
Mm,
Of all the stories that I wrote for the book, there were certain themes that came out very strongly. I mean, obviously, being part of an initiative anchored by Graça Machel, the legend, whose very own persona is synonymous with service to humanity and service to women empowerment and Ubuntu as a theme. I found that all of the stories, whether the participants were young, old, white, black, brown, all of them came out with that specific theme as something that stood out. Ubuntu, paying it forward. Now that you've also been given a ladder to come up, how are you holding the ladder for someone else, for another
mm,
woman entrepreneur? How are you paying it forward in your immediate environment, in your immediate community? That's one of the things that strongly came out. Another thing was a mentorship. Mentorship is really very important, and
mm,
also being mentored by someone who's in the same sector as you, someone who's experienced the very same issues and challenges that you are. That is actually quite key. So that also came through very strongly. Yeah, those I think for me were the two main themes that came through, and also just the the women finding it easier now to start thinking about how to scale their businesses more than what they originally thought. I mean, some of the women will talk about how they fund it from their own savings, or my husband would give me money, and instead of using it at Diamond Walk, I would reinvest it into the business. And I thought that this business would just be a hand to mouth kind of a
mm,
survivalist type of exercise. But then being part of the program, now I can see how it's scalable, how I can scale it not just in South Africa, but like into the greater continent. I loved reading things like that as I was compiling and editing the stories.
mm. Yeah. Well, as a communication strategist and a really celebrated broadcaster, are you doing any work with young people who one day want to be as influential as you?
Not really. Not really. I think my space of work, the space in which I work mostly with executives and government and actually established institutions. I think my time raising my teenagers, yeah, has yeah, it kind of depletes me. But eventually, I hope that yeah, I hope to be able to get the opportunity to work with young people. But I'm always available to give advice whenever it is asked for. As you can tell, I'm very verbose. So anyone that asks for any advice, I readily give it. But in terms of a systematic, programmatic initiative to work directly with young people, not as yet. But through my social media, I am very like, yeah, I do engage.
Okay, all right. I want to talk about your debut book, Unfathered. It's very personal. Is this from personal experience?
Oh my God, yes.
Mm.
So Unfathered is my memoir. It's
Ah,
20 years in the making. It's the story of my childhood, how I literally survived the worst kind
mm,
of adversity that you can imagine, to a life unshamed and reclaimed. It's very personal, but it's also very necessary.
mm,
The whole idea is that I want this book because I mean, obviously, with the stats that we all know with GBV and everything, there's a lot more people going through gender-based violence and abuse than we'd like to kind of accept or that we know of. So I want that book to reach as many people as possible to let them know that even on your worst day, when you've been displaced and abused and thrown out, and the worst things possible have happened to you, there's still a whole other chapter of your life that's
Yeah.
waiting there for you. And this book is just testament to how you can overcome.
Mm, yeah. Cassandra, how did you manage to become a success story growing up without a father?
So I grew up with a father. The book is
Okay.
actually about how the present father was actually my biggest danger, my
Mm.
biggest predator. I'm sure
Oh,
you've heard about the TikTok thing about are you gonna choose the man or the bear?
yeah.
When you
Yeah. Mm.
read the story, it's gonna be the bear because the bear is gonna be kinder to you.
Mm.
So I survived from pure grit, from just knowing at the bottom of like from the bottom of my heart and from everything inside of me, knowing that there was life after this. There was
Okay.
something else outside of these walls, and obviously the kindness of strangers. Yeah, man. I mean,
Mm.
read the book to get all the details. It's very interesting. It's very harrowing,
Okay.
but at the end of the day, because I'm here, I am where I am today. So you kind of you get the sense that anything is survivable.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm quite intrigued now, so I'm going to have to read the book and get back to you.
Please do.
Yes. All right, I'll do that.
It's going to be available from the 14th of August. That's
Okay.
actually my son's birthday.
Okay.
It's going to be available on all platforms like Takealot, Amazon, and at select exclusive books.
Fantastic. No, definitely going to read it. Now, talking about writing books, you're going to be writing the 60 different success stories for the project on behalf of the successful ladies, are you?
So actually, the ones that we talk about today, the book is already out.
Okay.
Now we'll be looking at the next cohort. Remember with the trust, they've got very like separate streams, and they work across Africa. So the next one will be a little bit different from this one, but all of it is still centered around women, giving women opportunities, and then obviously telling their stories once they have graduated and have gained all of the experience and the exposure and the everything that the program is meant to give them. So the next one will be, I think, before this year is over. So the one that we were speaking about today, even with Coco, was released, I think, a month ago. Yes.
Okay. Oh, all right. Fantastic. You service clients across government, corporate, retail, and non-profit. What's the one lesson from the corporate world you'd like these young, upcoming lady business owners to learn?
Corporate is difficult. I mean, the reason why I worked in the mainstream media space for around 15 years. Well, Sunday Times, City Press. I was one of the people that helped launch Forbes Africa. I've been all around the media kind of ecosystem, and then I moved over to business media and then to corporate. Um, I actually left corporate because of the toxicity from other women.
Mm,
So the one thing that I would like to point out, which I think people just don't talk about enough, is just like don't be the reason why someone else hates going to work, especially another woman. We already have so much that we have to survive in our daily lives. Don't be a horrible boss. Don't make me hate my job. Number one.
yeah.
Number two, give women everything. As I always say, give us all the power. We make everything great. Yeah. I'm a huge advocate for giving women all of the powers, all of the levers of power, because women make everything better. Women make everything make sense. If women were not othered and not segregated and not excluded, our world would literally be so much better in terms of like from like on every level.
Okay. Mm. All right. So, media training is part of your work, Cassandra. What's the one thing you wish every woman found and knew about radio, television, in business? You know, because sometimes you and I we make radio and television look easy. It isn't.
It's not. It's not. First of all, it's very different. I mean, when people like you and I started, I mean, I didn't even start at the same time as you. You had already been an established broadcaster, while I was still starting with my writing and establishing myself as a media practitioner. Back then, that space was controlled. You there were there wasn't 10 million other people who
True.
just had
Very true.
data and could,
Mm.
find their own audience. So with that in mind, everything is so saturated. Our attention spans are pulled in 2 million
Mm.
directions every minute, right? So the one advice that I always give my clients when we do media training is that ask yourself, why would anybody care about what I have to say? Once you can answer that question yourself, then that will guide you in terms of how you frame your messaging, right? Why would anybody care? And then secondly, um, people don't remember your words, they remember how you made them feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's sit with that for a moment. So it's not necessarily that they will remember how you answer Tish Mataz in the interview, but they will remember how your answer made them feel. That's what makes you unforgettable. That's what makes
Mm.
you stand out from the crowd, and I mean a crowd we have, right?
Mm.
And then obviously there's all the other little things about being knowledgeable about your subject
Yeah.
matter. If you're selling a business, have your elevator pitch literally down pat, in the sense that if I wake you up at 2 a.m. and ask you, what do you do? Why must I believe you? Why, you know what I mean? You need to be able to be convincing about what you do. You need to be knowledgeable, know your story. Don't hamana, know your story. And yeah, be confident, sell your
Mm.
product, and know that somebody out there is going to buy your product, and you just need to just meet the moment.
Cool. So, Cassandra, on the 14th of August, I'm getting your book, and as your
Please
parting
do. I
shots.
need the points.
So I'll buy
I
five
need to
then.
be
All
a
right.
best-selling author. I also need to say I'm a best-selling author.
Okay. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Cool. So this
Yes, I
series
received.
will be running for the entire month since it's Women's Month. What's the one
Mhm.
outcome you hope listeners will take away by the time we reach the final episode on Friday?
I want listeners, especially female ones, um, to believe that they too can be business leaders, right? I want women to understand their power and understand that the world is ready for women leadership. I want women to know that gone are the days where African women are only segregated to domestic work or any kind of work that's based in care. You can be in that boardroom, you can be in that cabinet, you can do everything that a man can do, right? And maybe even do it better. So through this series, through these women that will be platforming with you, I want those stories to remind women that you can do it and opportunities are available. um yeah, do it. It's a very special kind of Women's Month for me. I feel like this year, this feel like, yeah, it feels like possibility.
Hmm. Yeah. Cassandra, it's been an amazing conversation. Only wish you the best and hope to see you soon.
Thank you so much, Tich. Thank you. It's
All
been
right.
amazing connecting with you. I can't wait for us to tell all the stories.
Yes.
Um, yeah, and then at the end of it and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. It's been lovely hanging out with you.
Amazing shares, Cassandra, part of Women's Month, celebrating success stories right here on Channel Africa. We'll be right back.